everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So I'm here with the first update for my 2019 Project Pan. This year I'm doing the hashtag Team Project Pan. It was started by Kat and Hailey from Beauty News. I'll link my original video down below if you want to get more information about the specifics of this project, but basically it's a full face rotating project pan. So as you use up an item, like say a foundation, then you replace it with another foundation. So at all times you have sort of a whole like range of things that you're trying to use up. So I'll start off with the products I used up. I was excited that I was able to use some things up in the first month of this project. So the first item that I used up was one of my cream eyeshadows. This is the trèStiQue, the mini crayon shadow in the shade Morimoto Pink Pearl. Is more like a taupey shade, so you can kind of see. But that's all the product that is left. I do have my little post-it so I can show you how much like progress I was able to make on this, or how much I started versus now that I'm finished with it. So it was a good amount of product, but you know, not a ton, so I was able to work through it in January. So that is now used up. And then the replacement item for this is another one of the little trèStiQue mini eyeshadow crayons I got in 2016. It was 2016. I got in 2018 6 of these. That's what I was trying to say. But the one I would be replacing it with is in the shade Tibetan Ivory. So the other shade was more like a taupey shimmer shade, and this is more of a cream matte shade. So I have my little post-it for this so you can see where I'm starting. And I have more of this than I did with the other shades, so I think this will take me, I won't be able to get through this in a month. It will take me longer, but that's where I'm starting with this item. The next thing that I used up was my mascara. And the mascara that I started this project with was the Bobbi Brown, the Eye Opening Mascara. And I started using this, I feel like back in November, so it's been about 3 months. So at the end of January, I called it quits with this one, but that's what that one looks like. It is a really large brush. I have a set, it was like a Sephora favorite set, like one of the Lash Stash sets. And yeah, this was, I don't know, this type of brush, like this larger brush, I just don't really prefer. So it was a fine mascara, not my favorite. And in that Sephora favorite set, it does have a like voucher for full-size mascara, so I definitely won't be redeeming it for this one. I do prefer like thinner brushes. So I did use up that. And then the replacement mascara was also from that same Sephora favorite set. It was from a few years ago, but this is the Urban Decay Perversion, which has a much thinner brush. So I can compare the brushes of these two mascaras. So you can kind of see this is the type, I prefer something more like this compared to this one. I just think it's easier to apply because with larger brushes I tend to get like mascara everywhere, especially like early in the morning when I'm like half asleep. I do prefer something a little easier to use. So this is the mascara. I just started using this one February 1st. For me, that's the easiest way to remember like how long I've been using mascara if I start using it at the beginning of the month. So this probably will take about 3 months, I would say, to go through. So that's the mascara replacement. The next item I used up was a lip product, and it's the Fresh Sugar Lip Treatment in the shade Tulip. So that's what that one looks like. There you can kind of see the color, but used it up all the way down to the plastic. I did have this in my purse, so I was reapplying it a lot throughout the day. I have my little post-it for this as well, so you can see about the amount of product that I was starting with and how much I was able to use up over the past month. So this one is now finished, and I'm replacing it with another Fresh Sugar Lip Treatment. I have quite a few of them in my collection, and I would like to work through, you know, it would be good to work through about 3 or 4 of them this year. So the one I'll be focusing on next is Berry. It's a little bit of a darker berry shade than Tulip was, so that's what it looks like. It looks super intense. It does go on more sheer than this. It's really pretty, so I have my post-it for this as well, so you can see where I'm starting. I can hold this straight. Definitely have more of this than I did of Tulip. I think I have about 3 times as much product here than I did with Tulip. So this should take me, I would say, about 3 months. But I will put this one in my purse as well, just so I can reapply throughout the day. So those are all the makeup items I used up over the past month, the 3. And I did use up 1 non-makeup item. So that's something also fun with this project. There's 5 categories for non-makeup items. So it's a good way to get through some of those items as well in my collection. So the non-makeup item that I finished was the John Masters Citrus and Neroli Detangler. Just a little size, but I used this as sort of like a leave-in conditioner, like after I wash my hair. So I was here. So I didn't have a ton of this left. It did take me pretty much all of January to finish off. And that's what's kind of good about this project, is especially things that you just kind of have hanging around in your collection. You can like specifically focus on it for a month, use it up, just move it out of your collection because it just takes up space. So I did use up this. And then the next hair item that I'll be replacing it with is something else that I just have a little bit of left. Hopefully I can finish this up over February, but this is the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day 5-in-1 styling treatment. This is something else that's really great. Like after I wash my hair, I can use it as like a leave-in conditioner, or I can also use it like a styling product as well. But I do have a backup of one of these that I got with the Sephora VIB sale, but I still have a little bit of this left. So I just want to finish up the little bit that I have left. I have it stored like upside down so I can squeeze out the product easier, but it's just down like right here. I can't quite tell where it is, but just from feeling it, it feels like it's down right here. So I feel like this will also just take me about a month to use up. So that's everything I used up over the past month. 4 items. I am happy that I had some stuff to use up, and it's exciting to add some new items in. And now I'll go into everything that I'm still working on. So firstly, I have the primer, and this is the Becca the First Light Priming Filter. And this one, I was using it today, I think because I had it stored on its side and not like this, it was hard to squeeze out product. So I feel like pretty soon in the next few days that I'm gonna have to cut into this. And all my like squeezy tube packaging I do cut into to just get all the product on the sides. But when I started off, I was about here, and now I feel like I'm like just down to like the very bottom. But yeah, I will cut into this. So hopefully by the next update, this will be finished. I'm almost finished with it, but still working on that. The next category is foundation, and for this I actually have a BB cream and then like a traditional foundation. So for the BB cream, I have the Dr. Jart BB Dis-A-Pore, and this one's hard to measure as well because, you know, like you squeeze out the air, but then product can like get on the sides of the packaging. So this is something else I'll cut into once I can't squeeze out any product. But I kind of estimated based on like squeezing out air from the packaging that I started about here, and now I'm about here. I didn't use this a ton over the past month. I was focusing a lot more on the foundation I have in this project, but this one shouldn't take me that long to finish up. It just kind of depends on which of the 2 items I'm more focusing on, of how quickly I use both of them up. But this one making some progress on. I still think it might take me about maybe 2 months or so to get through that, just based on how much I use it. Next I have the foundation, which is the Urban Decay Naked Skin. And this one I've really been focusing on over the past month. So this is where I started with it, and I'm about here. So again, this should take me about 2 months. I would say together these should take me maybe about 2 months to finish up. But yeah, that's where I am with this one. The next category is concealer. So for this I have my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is something else I'm hopeful I can finish up in the next month. The packaging on this has broken. You can see there's just a little bit of product at the very bottom. I have been using a brush to try to get to that product, and the product on the sides is pretty much almost used up. So not a ton of this left. I am trying to get every little last bit of this, so I'm really hopeful that the next update that this will be finished, and I'll be super happy just because this is just like kind of messy. Because the packaging has broken, but still working on that. The next category is powder. For this, I'm using the Too Faced the Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. And this one I haven't measured because it's just really pretty packaging, and it is going to take me a while to get through, but I'm about here where just in the like more than halfway through like the Peach Perfect like writing. But yeah, this is something I use every single day. I currently only have this loose powder and then a pressed powder in my purse. So it's not something I'm like super, like I need to get through it really quickly because I have so many powders in my collection. I don't. So I'm fine with this taking as long as it takes, and I do use it every day. So that's for the powder. Setting spray. So I have I've been using this quite a bit. I realized today when I was sitting down to film, like I didn't actually use this today, but that's okay. But this is where I started with it. It's like right here, if you can see, I have a little like Sharpie line like right here. And at this point I'm to here. So I would say another month and this should be finished based on my current progress. If I remember to use it most days, I should be able to get through this in a month. So super excited about that. So I feel like so far I have a few things that I can finish up, I feel like in a month, and then a few things in like 2 months. So I feel like it's exciting that I can have things, or at least from what I see now, I can have things finished like every month in this project. That's kind of my goal, is to always have some stuff finished every month. Okay, so next category is blush. I have 2 blushes, my favorite long-standing blushes I'm trying to use up, which is the Josie Maran Coconut Water Cheek Gelée, which is my cream blush. That's where I'm with this one. I do use this every day. It's just very slow moving. You don't need a lot of it. We'll see how much longer this one takes, but I really want to use this up this year. But that's this cream blush. And then also my powder blush I'm trying to work through is the Tarte 24-Hour Clay Amazonian Blush in Exposed. This is hard. Anything with like pan showing, I mean, it's just, this product moves slowly, but that's where I'm with this. And yeah, this is something I also use every single day. So that's that blush. The next category is highlight. So I have 2 highlighting products as well, 1 cream and 1 powder. So for the cream highlight, I have the Benefit Watts Up. I try to use this more this month. I did try using this under my foundation. I feel like I didn't love the effect of it, and it might have been just the foundation I paired it with or other factors, but I didn't make a new mark. But I have been trying to use this, not every single day, but I really want to try to work through this year, and I might have to use it as like a body highlight. I'll try to use it more and experiment around with ways to use it, but that's where I'm with this one. And then for the powder highlight, I have the Laura Mercier. This is the Matte Radiance Baked Powder. And for this, I fully don't expect to use it up. I don't use highlight every day. It would be nice to maybe hit pan on this. I just want to try to make as much use of this as possible. But yeah, you can't really see. I feel like I'm wearing it down the dome a little bit. If you kind of see, there's a little bit of an indentation. But yeah, hopefully I can make some visible progress on this over the year, but I don't expect to use this up. And this is only a deluxe size, but yeah, if I use highlight every single day, maybe I could use it up, but I just don't. Not for work. I don't know. The next category I actually added in is finishing powder. So Kat and Hailey, they had came up with the original categories. And this is the one that I added in. So I wanted to focus on using up my Hourglass Ethereal Light Lighting Powder. This I've hit pan on. I hit pan on last year, but I feel like I can use it up this year. This is also, anything with pan, it's just hard to show progress. But I do use this every single day. So continuing to make progress on this. I'd be interested to see how long this one takes me to use up that I've hit like so much pan on it. But that's that item. So next I have my eye primer category. Actually I have an eyeshadow primer and then I have 2 cream eyeshadows. For eyeshadow primer, I have my Nars Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. Usually I can use up one of these a year. And I just started using this one at the beginning of the year, so if I do use it up, it will take me the entire year. But I do use this every single day. I wear eyeshadow every day, so I do start my eyeshadow with my eyeshadow primer. So working on that one. From the cream eyeshadow, I have the trèStiQue Crayon, which I've replaced this shade with the ivory shade, so that is also in that category. And then also I have the ABH Brow Duality little shadow stick. So I use this one as like a brow bone highlight and like a shimmer. I have been using this. I did sharpen it, but my little mark on my little post-it, like it's not a new mark. It just, I moved through this kind of very slowly. I really want to use this up this year, but it probably will be another thing that will take me like the whole year to finish off. But did use that. Next category is eyeshadow, or eyeshadow palette. And for this, I don't have anything I'm specifically focusing on using up. I'm just going to be rotating through my eyeshadow palettes and eyeshadow singles. That's kind of my goal this year, is just to get use out of everything in my eyeshadow collection. So for January, what I used was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. This I got for a Christmas gift. And it's just a really fun palette. I love that it has a row of like shimmer, metallic shades, and then matte shades. It's colorful. The only thing with this is the formulas of a lot of shades are very soft, so it's something you want to be like very gentle with. Like these shades, and especially the Rose Gold and Dazzling, they're just very soft. I love the shades. They're super pretty, but they're just sort of messy to work with. And you can also see this matte shade Love. Like there's like chunks kind of like at the bottom. So I feel like I had to be very careful with this. So this is a palette that I like to use when I have time. I have a lot of fun with this, but yeah, the formula, I think it applies really pretty, but it's just very like messy sort of palette. So that's what I used in January. And then also I used the Urban Decay Naked 2 Basics palette. This is a great like work everyday sort of palette. It's easy to use. I don't have to be worried about it making a mess. And I like that there's just 6 shades because I can just quickly, you know, apply something. So that's this palette. I really only use these first 4 shades. I didn't use the darker shades. If I wanted to do something more dramatic, I would reach for the Norvina palette. But this, I have the shade Skimp, which I use all over, not all over the lid, like as a brow bone highlight. I've hit pan on, that's my most used shade, obviously. And then I would just switch between these 3 matte shades for like an all over the lid look. So between Stark, this is Frisk, and Cover. So it's just a great little work palette, and I love the combination of these two. Like this was great for every day for work, and then this is great for like if I like on the weekends or have more time. So I love the combination of these two, and I can't wait to use these again. But I did have to pick some different things for February just because as I said, I wanted to kind of use everything in my collection. So for February, I picked a combination of different things to use. So for the palette, I have this Makeup Forever. This is the Artist 9-Pan Shadow Palette. And I feel like a lot of times this kind of gets overlooked in my collection. I do really like the shades. It has some really pretty like taupey shades and some pretty like bronzy shades. Like shades I really like gravitate to, like these 4 right here. But I feel like I kind of like will gravitate to my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes because they're more colorful and like exciting, or like the Urban Decay Naked palettes, which are just sort of, I don't know, nostalgic for me. But I think this will be fun to play around with. I am wearing these 2 shades today. I have this shade in the crease and this in the lid. But I think I can make some really pretty looks with this. I really do enjoy this. I thought this would also be fun to pair with some of my Stila Glitter and Glows, just because I have one that's a little more taupey and one that's more like a golden, like warm shade. And I think it's just fun to play around with some glitter, make some pretty looks. So this is in the shade Smoldering Satin. It's the more taupey shade, and then Kitten Karma, which is the more like golden type shade. So I thought that these 2 would pair really well with this palette. In addition, I have these Clinique duos, and these are like, if you get Clinique, they're like the gift with purchase sort of eyeshadows. So I thought this would be fun to play around with. So I have 3 of these. So I have this shade, this is Sparkling Shade and Daybreak. So this green shade I thought would be fun to play around with, and then this more shimmery like type of shade. Just be fun to play around with some looks with these. I have Strawberry Fudge duo, a little more pink and a little more brownish burgundy sort of shade. And then finally I have Sunburst, which is like a pretty like coral shade and more like a shimmer, like all over the lid type shade. Actually got these from our friend. We did last year with some friends like a makeup, like people would declutter their collection. We did like sort of a makeup swap. So I got those and I thought it'd be just fun to play around with and try to do some different looks with those. I also wanted to play with a single. I feel like in my collection I always gravitate towards palettes, so I thought I would throw in a single for this month, which is the Urban Decay shade in Sin. Actually, this is the shade from the Naked palette, and I really love that shade, this like champagne shimmer. This is super pretty. So I thought it'd be fun to play around with this month because I tend to like forget about this in my collection. And then also I have a shade that actually depotted from a Stila palette. So this is the shade, I believe the name of this is Coco Cabana, and it was from the Rock and Rio palette from Stila. It was one of the like little cardboard like travel palettes. So I had depotted just this shade and I like to use it. It's like a satin cream shade that is like a good all over the, like not all over the lid, but brow bone highlight type shade. So I'll also be using that shade this month. So those are the eyeshadows I'll be playing with in February, and as I said, every month I just kind of want to rotate through my collection, use everything, and just kind of, you know, play around with what I have. So that's for the eyeshadow category. The next category is liquid or gel liner. For this I have the NYX Super Skinny Eye Marker. It's in the shade Carbon Black, and I really have been playing around with this more on the weekends. I'm not super great at eyeliner, but this one's kind of just fun to add a little bit of like definition, so like more dramatic looks. So I've been playing around with this. I'm not sure how much longer this will take me to use up, but I'll just use it till I can't get a good like line with it anymore. So there's that liner. Then I also have like an eye pencil. That's the next category, and this one is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Desperation. This is one I was trying to use up last year as well. And I'm sad to say I don't have a new mark for this. I've kind of not been using this that much. Like on the weekends, when I have more time for makeup, I've been using this liner. And then this one throughout the week, I kind of been forgetting about. So this is one I definitely need to remember to use more. I think that's one thing about this project. It's great to have so many items, but then I think that you can tend to forget about a few of them. And there's been a few things that I kind of haven't used. Like a lot of it I've been able to incorporate into my everyday routine, but some of them are getting a little neglected. So this is one I need to focus on more. The next category is mascara. So I already talked about how I used up the Bobbi Brown mascara and I'm replacing it with the Urban Decay Perversion. Next category is brow color. For that category I have the Benefit Gimme Brow. This is a product I do use every single day. I'm not sure how much longer this will take me to use up. I feel like it's getting kind of empty. So we'll see in the next few months if I do use that up. But I'm making progress on that. The next category is brow setting product. This is also a Benefit product. This is the 24-hour brow setter. Again, I use this every day. I'm not sure how long this one will take me to use up either, but I do really love the brush of this, like super skinny. So using that. It's hard with like brow products and like mascara to like measure progress on them because of how the packaging is. So I just find those hard to like estimate how much longer they'll take me to use up. Those are the brow products. Next is the lip products. So for lipstick, I have, this is something else I've kind of forgotten about, and I just pulled off the end of it. That's interesting. I wonder if that's supposed to be like a sharpener or something. Huh. Alright, I just, it's the piece at the end. Anyway, this is the Bite, what's the full name of this? The Matte Cream Lip Crayon in Glacé. This is with the birthday gift from Sephora last year. I really love this. It's like a mauve shade, and I love that it's like a skinnier like pencil. It's like easier to apply. So I have my little post-it for this. This is another thing I don't have a new mark for. Honestly, over the past month, I've really been focusing on the lip gloss in this project and also the Fresh Sugar Lip Treatment. So I don't have a new mark on this, but I feel like there's just not a ton of product here, so I'm fine with this taking me like a few months or part of the year to use up. Like I really do like this. I'm not like looking to get through this like super quickly, and I did just get this last year, so I don't feel like I need to use it up like super quickly. But that's the lipstick. I'll try to use this more over the next month, and I think it will pair very well with like this, like the more taupey or like neutral looks of the Make It Forever palette. The next item is the lip gloss, and I've made a ton of progress with that. I'm super happy. This is the Sephora Collection Oil Infusion in Bubbly Grenadine. So I had this in my last project pan from last year. So that's where all these marks are from. But this mark here is where I started this project with, beginning of January, and then where I am now. So I feel like with this, it should, if I continue with my current progress on this, I should be able to use this up, I would say, in the next like 2 months. So super happy with my progress there. I try to use this like every day, also reapply throughout the day. So really happy with the progress I was able to make with this. The next item is just the lip balm. It's the final makeup item, I believe. I talked about everything else, but yeah, the lip balm is just the Fresh Sugar lip treatment, which I used up Tulip, and now I'll be focusing on Berry, which I talked about at the beginning of the video. So that's all the makeup items, and then finally there's 5 non-makeup categories. So the first category of non-makeup items is nail polish slash nail product, and I kind of expanded that category to include hand care because I specifically want to work through some hand creams. So what I'm working on for the first hand cream is the Philosophy Raspberries and Cream. I currently have this in my purse. I didn't make a mark last time, I don't know why, but if I squeeze out the air, I don't have a ton of this left. Once I can't squeeze out any more product, this is something else I will cut into, and then I won't be carrying it in my purse anymore. I'll have it on my nightstand or something like that. But hopefully, I would say in the next month. It just depends how much I use it. My hands are really dry at the moment. I should use this more. I just sometimes forget to use hand cream. So try to be good about using this, and hopefully I can make some, like, either have this almost finished or finished by the next update. But I have been making progress on it, just not as quickly as I thought I might have. The next category is fragrance. So for this, I have the Elizabeth and James, the Nirvana Black. So I just have a teeny bit of this left, so that's where I started and where I am now. So you can see, definitely this is something I should be able to finish up in the next month. I've been not forcing myself to, forcing is the wrong word to use, but I'm not using this every single day. I'm using it most days, but occasionally I'll let myself, or I'll use something else if I feel like it, but I definitely should be able to use this up over the next month. For body product, I have the Tree Hut Shea Sugar Scrub. It's in the it's in the scent Tropical Mango. This I don't use every single day because I feel like it's a little bit much to use every day, but I try to use it quite a few days. I'd say like 3 days a week, so you can see what I have left there. But based on what I have left and the amount that I use this, I feel like this will still take me several months to use, but I'm fine with that. But yeah, that's the body product. And skincare product, I have the Drunk Elephant. This is the Virgin Marula Luxury Facial Oil. It's hard for this one to tell how much I have left because of how the packaging is. This is something else I don't use every single day, but I feel like I don't have much of it left at all. So hopefully by next update I will have this finished. I can replace it with something else. And then the final category is the hair product, which I already talked about. I used up the John Masters Detangler, and then I replaced it with this Living Proof product. So that is, okay, I just dropped that anyway. But yeah, that is everything for my update. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!